Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1947 Smith Corona Sterling vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight. I'm going to line that up with the edge of the platen, which is this main roller. And these are your paper fingers that hold the paper down, and you just want to make sure that the margins are set to where you don't type over those or get stuck on them. So I'm going to set this margin right after that and right before this one. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips 1 or 2 spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, you just put the switch forward right there. It skips 2. We're going to keep it on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line to switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side here. You flip it all the way down, and there's a red dot there. You might not be able to see it. On the top you have a blue dot, in the middle you have a white dot. The blue prints the top portion of the ribbon, the white doesn't print at all, and the red prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. Beautiful typing machine. This feels very, very classic. It looks classic, it feels classic when you type on it, and the sound is kind of almost muffled compared to most typewriters, but it feels really classic and it sounds classic. I love the sound of this. It's probably one of my favorite as far as design goes, because it's got the big yellow keys right here. Those are really nice, and I like the flat black, not glossy. It's not fancy, as fancy as a glossy one. So you know, if you don't want something that's super shiny, this is what you want to go with. And it's got this fancy handle here that's not on a lot of old typewriters. Usually it's just like a little straight line. This one's all curvy, so it's really pretty. To pull the page out easy, you just flip the switch to the front. It unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easy or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. Backspace on the top left here. That works good, very smooth. Shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Tab function on the right side here. Right now we have one tab and it stops right there in the middle, and if you want to switch where it stops, there's a little insert here, and you can just take it off this rack and put it wherever you want. There's a scale on that rack to tell you exactly where you are. So now you hit the tab and it'll stop at that spot. That works good. Margin release on the right side, so you get to the end of the margin. There's a mechanism on pretty much all typewriters that will block you from typing past that margin. But if you hit the margin release, it will allow you to type past that to finish the word at the end of the page. We're going to flip this switch back up to blue so we print the top portion of the ribbon. And as you can see, if you have it in the middle, it doesn't print at all. It's called a stencil. So basically, if you're trying to practice typing something maybe, or just, I don't know, I'm not a typer, I just know how to fix these things and market them. Open the hood here. You gotta pull the carriage a little bit to the left to open this, to clear that line space handle. You got your touch control right here, and the higher you go up, the more tension there is when you hit the keys, and they respond faster. The lower you go down, you don't have to hit the keys as hard, but they don't respond as fast. I like it on low because I'm used to typing on a computer, but experienced typers that type very fast will probably go a lot higher than that. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left side, so it's pulling to the right. Clockwise, and if you want to switch that direction, there's a switch right here above the space bar. If you flip it up, it'll switch You gotta flip it down and it switches. It'll switch back and forth. Just gotta kind of play with it on this model. It's not as easy. And I think you could also switch it by messing with these. If you flip this, it's kind of like a ribbon reverse. It does it on its own when one side is used up. But that works good. This is your carriage release behind the knob here. Allows you to control the carriage freely. Very smooth. Same on this side. And if you pull this little button out from the knob, it'll disable the spacing when you turn the platen knob. You push it in. Each one of those clicks is one space. What that does is it allows you to get to an exact spot on the page without having to navigate through real spaces. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.